So hi, so today I'm in Chelmsford and I'm actually on my way to court twice. It's my second time in 25 years and it's for an eviction. This story is, I mean, it just goes to show that you just don't know people. These tenants have been with us for 5 years and actually been okay. In the last kind of 18 months or so, they've started to stall on their payments, been late, so we let it go. They crawl back, and then about 4 or 5 months ago they completely stopped paying. Bearing in mind, this is 5 years into a contract, a relationship, whatever you want to call it, I'm not sure exactly why. We've then communicated again and again and again, complete blank out, did not want to engage at all. And even before that, they started to say, oh no, we'll pay, then missed the payment timeline, missed the next payment timeline, and now we're running around £6,000 or so. I can't remember exactly the pounds and pennies, but you're in that ballpark of £6,000. 4 or 5 months of no rent coming in. We've now obviously engaged our lawyers to do all the process of Section 8 to get the property back. So this is why we've got a court appearance now. I've got the lawyers waiting for me, and we've provided our statement. We're now going down the Section 8 route, the non-payment for 2 months or more, and we've also re-provided today another rental statement to show that it's more than 4 months worth of rent now due. Who knows whether they turn up or not will be another different thing. I'm just hoping that the court will give us the property back, because quite frankly it's an expensive cost that we can still have to pay the agency, the mortgages to still go on, because obviously the mortgage company don't care. They still want their money, and so we're still having to pay for that mortgage without no rents coming in. So this is the typical thing that may happen now with this rental reform bill, which is what I'm really worried about, because if the government gets it wrong, and one of the things that they were proposing is, let's say today they come in the new law that they're proposing is the tenant can come in and give a few quid, and then that will then re-trigger another 2 month worth of, so basically in effect start to show that I'm paying, but it doesn't actually say how much they have to pay, and that could be an amazingly detrimental thing for landlords, because imagine people can just keep doing that. At some point, the landlord's going to default, they're going to then run out of cash, and then they're going to get repossessed. So this is a really important bit of the legislation that I'm not convinced that's been addressed yet, to show that actually if somebody's not paying and they start to pay even just a little bit, doesn't mean that you reset the clock. They've got to go back and actually make sure that they are trying genuinely to pay that debt down. So let's see, it's 3 o'clock. Our interview or appointment is at 3:30. We're meeting the legals here, but process wise has been to wait for 2 months of non-payment, serve Section 8 to the tenants, and then it's taken that long to get to court, which will be 4 months down the line. And now let's see what happens, and I'll update after this. So just leaving the courts now after what was 25 minutes, actually quite intense. Not so much for my stuff. I think the judge got pissed off that our lawyers was charging too much for her time. He said it was a simple application, and she was charging a grade 8, which I'm assuming is the highest grade, to do this work. So she got a bit pissed off with the claim that she put in there for cost. But in effect, because the tenant had been so long and not paid, the judge under Section 8 cannot not give possession. What she could do is give a discretionary time, and then she asked whether, well, we put in 14 days for possession, and I then briefed our lawyers to say, look, let's just give him 28 days, because quite frankly, it pains me to see these guys who I've known, well actually I thought it was 5 years, it's actually 7 years. So we had a good chat with the tenant, and they also said, look, we get it, I'm sorry, we're now 4 or 5 months late, 4 kids, one of his jobs not come through, she's finishing school. So honestly, it was, I hate this kind of situation, but you know what, we also, it was nice that they say that they see that this is just work business and it's not personal. They were very kind, you know, they gave me a hug at the end. But ultimately, I mean, I said, look, let's just work a payment plan so that it works for both of us, both parties. So in that way, couldn't have gone any better really. But in terms of claim, now going forward, once the rental reform happens, section 21 will be expunged. We won't ever have section 21 as a ground for eviction, but section 8 is the one that we've used here, where the person or the people were 2 months or more late in payment, and the judge had nowhere to go than to give possession order. 14 days, if we'd insisted, she would have had to probably give that, but I offered 28 days to give him some time. There's also a money judgment, so £8,000 of rent plus £1,000 of cost, so 7,800 on rent, and £1,000 of court cost, which is £8,800 that they have to pay within 28 days. And quite frankly, who's going to have 8,000, £9,000 sitting around? So I've said, look, let's just work on something together that makes sense for them to pay down this debt as well. But hey, if you think landlord is easy, here we go. Welcome to my world.